All right, there we go.
Okay.
So I guess we should just title this conspiracy.
Yeah. Um, Bob's gonna jump in so I can. All right. But yeah, this will be cool, man. This will be good stuff. Wait till he knows so
Yeah,
much.
it will be.
He knows so much about Elvis. He was
I mean,
making he was making fun of you last night. How you never stay in front of the fucking camera.
uh,
He goes, "How many times does that dude drop his cigarettes?"
more often than not, I can tell you that.
Apparently. Anyway, so we'll wait till he jumps on so we can. But anyway, yeah. I'm sure he'll talk about boxing with us as well.
I mean, you want to keep it on Elvis or boxing?
We'll do both. We'll do even more than that, whatever we get into.
Yeah, we need to keep it like an hour segment though, and like save stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. Um,
Did you invite Bob yet?
yeah, but I'm waiting for him to. He's not even watching yet. But please, anybody that actually, I know somebody else to invite. Hold on.
Yeah, invite somebody else. I mean, the more people we get, God, I almost want to jump ahead to Tippett and skip Parkland, but I know I've got to have Parkland.
Right, I hear you. Well, definitely just invited the dude that is 9/11 crazy. Hey, Donnie, request to come in this video, man. We're debating the 9/11 conspiracy. That's him, Chris.
Donnie, nice to meet you, buddy.
Come on, Donnie, jump in. We know you know your shit about this stuff. Come on.
Come on, man, ante up. Bring your cards to the table.
Come on, man.
Well, I'll tell you what we can talk about in the meantime.
The fourth icon in,
You know,
Donnie.
we could talk about so far our three debates. I'm glad I had that loaded up because I didn't want to deny you your one win so far in this.
Man, just jump on for 5 minutes, Donnie. Come on.
Look,
I couldn't think of anybody better to do the 9/11 conspiracy. Here he is. Send that again, Donnie. Sorry. Chris.
Yeah.
All right, jump on the screen. All right. I don't just let him listen to us. Me and Chris are of the opinion that those,
Oh, Bobby's here.
yeah, I know, but those towers were not brought down by controlled demolition.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
And I mean, we have to think about this too. I mean, how many floors was it? I mean, how many?
Yeah,
You know.
it looks like we can only have two people on at the same time. So you guys can just comment for now. But
Okay.
yeah,
So
Donnie, so we don't think that those towers came down by controlled demolition.
absolutely not. No.
No.
I mean, you would have to. I mean, how many floors would you have to put demolitions on? Which nobody's seen them go on. Nobody found a demolition.
And what about the famous line, Chris? Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. It doesn't have to melt steel beams. It just has to
All it
weaken
has to do
the
is
beam.
weaken it. And you see where it was hit, and once it started to collapse, it came straight down as one floor fell upon another.
Yep.
Now, of course, it may look like it was brought down by, demolitions, but when it starts collapsing like that,
Oh, and
it,
the truthers love building 7.
oh yeah, 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 it fell what 7 hours later after all the debris had landed on top of it.
Yes, but they like to say it was just office fires. NIST did not test for explosives.
And NIST, what is that?
That's the government agency that did the investigation of Building 7 fell, Donnie, because of the the damage that it took from the other towers falling.
I mean, and that brings up the point. If this was taken down,
Well, no, because Donnie asked,
yeah.
how did Building 7 fall? No, yes, no, you're wrong, Donnie. Something did hit Tower 7. A lot of debris.
All right, well, let me bring up one point. What would be the reason to take down Building 7?
Oh, these fucking truthers they think because it held secret information like but you're wrong, Donnie. Something did hit it. Okay, again, didn't fall as free fall. That's another. You're completely reciting all the conspiracy jargon.
And you got to understand, Donnie, I'm a conspiracy person. You
Yeah,
can ask Mike. I wade through the stuff he
yeah.
just
I mean,
threw at
me and Chris debate the JFK assassination too. I think Oswald acted alone. Chris thinks that was a conspiracy.
I think Oswald was completely innocent. Never held up that day. Um, I mean, so they brought down Building 7 because it held important information.
Yeah, and
Is that
he's
it?
claiming that it fell at free fall speed. It didn't actually.
No, it didn't. It took it a long time to fall.
Okay, NIST said it fell close to free fall speed. Okay.
Well, which one is it?
All I'm saying is it definitely didn't fall free fall speed. No way. And it was not brought down by explosives.
Now, I mean, I will go along with this right here, and I believe I explained it last night. I believe there was a 9/11 conspiracy.
Right.
However, the conspiracy that I believe took place was that the George Bush administration allowed it to happen in order to get us into war with Iraq. Because if 9/11 had not happened, then we would never been in war with Iraq. Paul Wolfowitz, who was head of a
Hold
uh,
on, hold on. Yeah,
conservative.
Donnie, exactly. But what you're saying now is my point exactly. It's not free fall speed, like you just said.
Well, I mean, when you watch the towers fall, you can watch them collapse. So, are you telling me that they had all the explosives set up in the top of the building
No,
to blow
they
that?
think it was placed all throughout nanothermite.
And nobody's seen one person go in there
Right.
and plant these
And
explosives. Nobody's
have you
seen.
ever seen the pictures of the debris at the bottom, Chris, where it shows one of the steel beams cut at an angle?
Yes.
Okay, they think that that is evidence of the thermite exploding that way. No, actually, that's cut that way because they were trying to cut the rubble up to get it out of there.
Now let me ask you this right here, and just
What's
try
not
to
true,
debunk.
Donnie?
How long?
What Chris said? What's not true, brother?
What I said about
I,
what about the Bush
I'm
administration?
trying to figure it out. Okay, he said the building was completely shut down and left open the weekend beforehand.
Okay, all right, fine. Let me ask you this: how long do you think it would take to plant explosives through that building? It's going to take you a lot longer than a weekend to plant
For
buildings through
sure,
that
for
explosive.
sure.
I mean, you're talking about tower. I mean, built floor after floor after floor. You would have to have engineers in there to show where the weak points at, where it would have to collapse. I mean, and not only that, you're talking about thousands of people
Yep.
that would have to be involved in this.
Hmm.
You know, military, CIA, all the way up to the. It would take a hell of a. It'd take a lot of a lot of a um, it would take a
Oh,
lot of people. You're talking about thousands of people, workers, and not one person found one explosive, not one person
nope.
seen them dealing with this. Nothing was found in the rubble. Nothing was found in the rubble. Yes, Donnie, you don't think it would take thousands of people to pull off a conspiracy like this? First of all, you'd have to have the people who organized it, the people who worked inside of it, the people who knew what was going on, the people to set off the demolitions.
Nick, it does not fall the same way, buddy. Sorry.
Okay, they may not test for explosives, but there was nothing found in the rubble.
Well, I'm sure, Donnie, you like to go with the nanothermite and that guy's article that he wrote. Okay, what? Yes, it does what? That what Chris said? I don't know.
Yeah, please elaborate more because we're saying so
So,
much.
okay. How do you?
Well, Donnie, I don't know if you recall, but right after that, they had the bucket brigades where people were out there with literally buckets of rubble that they was going through, and nobody found a wire, nobody found a timing device, nobody found anything when they was going through this rubble. They went completely through the rubble
Yeah,
of
well,
that
the
of
truthers
that.
have one bonehead that did some bogus investigation finding chips of nanothermite.
Chips. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
recall something like
right.
that.
Just a bogus article some guy put out in in a low level science magazine, and the truthers think
And
it's
like I said, and Donnie, I do believe there was. Well, well, no, Donnie. When the bucket brigades were going on, they were digging out rubble. Okay, you don't think when they was looking at that rubble, somebody might have said, "Hey, what is this right here?
hold on, let me handle it.
What?"
The bogus article. Can you remind me of that guy's name, Donnie, who did that investigation with the nanothermite? It's at the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it.
Well, Donnie, who ordered this takedown of the twin towers? Because you would have to be conspiring.
I'm
Um,
calling that scientist bogus, Donnie. I'm because he's been proven to be bogus.
Look, what I'm saying is, again, I want to point back to the bucket brigades. When they were going through this rubble, not one person found a wiring, not one person found some kind of device. And hey, what is this? Maybe we need to turn this over to the
Right,
FBI. This looks suspicious. They didn't find anything but rubble.
right. And a lot of people like to say that those buildings were made to withstand hit by that type of plane. No, it wasn't made to take a hit by that type of plane. It was made to take a hit by a smaller plane. Not only that, it did actually initially take the impact. It didn't fall right away. So it did stand for a while. And
Oh, it stood for a long. It stood for a long time. You know, if that was the case, why didn't you take the building down right then?
exactly, it was not meant to be hit. Those buildings, not to the specs. It didn't what? I know that jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, but it doesn't need to.
No, it just needs to weaken
It
it.
just needs to weaken it, which is exactly what you see in the video when you see the side of the building getting pulled in like it was bowing in. Those are the girders weakening.
And look how the plane was hit too. I mean, look how many floors it went on. It was loaded with jet fuel.
Yeah, Chris Anderson, Building 7 fell because it got bombarded with pieces of World Trade Center 1 and 2 slamming into it.
I mean, and here's another point that I'd like to make. If Building 7 supposedly held this information, wouldn't you attack that building too?
Yeah, what is the truther theory on why they needed to demolish Building 7?
Um, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, I know it's something about because there's offices in there like the CIA or something, and there was crucial information that needed to be destroyed.
Information that what would have tied them, the conspirators, to this. I mean, then
Apparently,
who ordered this attack? I mean, you're talking about you would have to be the United States government would have to be conspiring with the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Kuwaitis,
yeah.
and you're gonna pick 19 crazed hijackers to pull off this right here. I mean, you're gonna trust these guys to pull off this?
Donnie, what building are you talking about?
Well, Donnie, if you don't know who ordered it, then I mean, how's there a conspiracy? I mean, somebody had to be behind the conspiracy if there was a conspiracy to take down
No,
these two
no, no.
buildings.
Donnie could just have be asking questions, could just be speculating. But I would like I just okay, Building 7 and okay. Okay, so I'm saying the top one third of the building can break through the lower two thirds because that would completely destroy physics. Actually, no, it would definitely not go against physics by no stretch of the imagination. Um, not the building wasn't just uh, damaged on the top; it was damaged all around it. The angle that you conspiracy people like to show is that one angle. No, it wouldn't, Donnie. It wouldn't, man. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. Why did they need to take down Building 7, Donnie? Why would they need to demolish Building 7, Donnie? You don't know why?
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you kind of lose me on your conspiracy.
I mean,
Um,
if you're gonna claim it's a conspiracy and that they demoed Building 7, you got to give me why would they do it? Why? You can't just. Okay, so then I'm gonna stretch it even further. I think that you don't know that it was definitely brought down
be
by
right
a
back.
controlled demolition because you seem okay. All right, no, that's
So,
cool. I'm not, dude. I'm being cool, Donnie. I'm not trying to beef with you, brother. I'm just saying.
I know this is all a friendly conversation. We're not trying to
All
get
right, Chris,
into
to hide
arguments.
evidence. What kind of
I'll be
evidence?
right back.
What kind of evidence? Paper evidence? What? Paperwork? I know, brother. I'm just putting it out there because I really have a problem with the with a lot of these conspiracies. Um, my biggest one that I know the most about is JFK, but I'm pretty good with this one as well. Do I know what Operation Gladio is? No, I don't. Fill me in.
So, let's play devil's advocate here. So, our government went out, found
Do I
19.
hold on? Do I trust our government?
Absolutely not. No, I do not.
I
But
would
so
have to
let me.
say no for the most part, but I don't think that they would do this. What you guys are claiming.
Well, let me say this right here, okay? So our government, and I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt. You, y'all believe there was a conspiracy. So our government went out and recruited 19 hijackers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Kuwait, jihadists, to come here to learn how to fly planes and to fly them into buildings. Correct? That's what you're telling me.
Me?
Now that's what I'm asking them. If there was a conspiracy, that means our government went out and recruited 19 hijackers.
My friend,
I'm
his name's
Chris.
Chris.
So they went
So
out and
hold on.
recruited
When
19.
you would say assassinations, Donnie, I assume you're talking about Kennedy, right?
Well, I mean, there was other assassinations that our government committed. Che Guevara.
I know.
Um,
Oh, he's apologizing to you, Chris.
oh, no, no worries, buddy. Okay, so Chris Anderson, if there was no recruited hijackers, they were all fake, then who flew the planes into the building? The pilots?
See, this is the problem with the conspiracy people, man.
I mean, who flew the planes? Who hijacked the planes? Are you telling me there was nobody on the planes and this was remote control? There were no plane.
Oh,
There were no
no
planes.
planes.
So what? All right. So of the photos, the video footage showing the plane fly into the building, what was, what was that? Was that what was that flying into the building if there were no planes? They did have drone capabilities, but those was airplanes. You could clearly
No,
see what
but
it to. Those was
It
not
wasn't
drones.
Donnie that said that there was no planes though.
Right, I know it wasn't Dottie who said that. It was the other guy, Chris. But I mean, you seen the planes hit it. I'm not saying that's exactly the case, but somehow, some way.
Oh,
See,
no. See, Chris, you
and
can't go. You can't do that.
guys, I don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to attack anybody, but if you're going to back up a conspiracy, you're going to have to give me more than just saying, okay, the government did it. I
Somehow,
mean,
some
right now,
way.
yeah, somehow, some way. I mean, Mike knows I'm a conspiracy theorist for the Kennedy assassination, and he will admit that I can make a good case for conspiracy because I wade through the stuff and I give you the evidence of what I think it is. Um, yeah, I wish we could invite you on here,
Yeah,
Donnie, but
it
I
would be
mean,
way better in person. I agree, buddy. Um, Unfortunately, that's kind of impossible based on all of our locations.
but
Um,
again, all you're giving is the 1915 came from Saudi Arabia. Uh, what
Hold
was
on, what
it?
do you mean their
Maybe it's,
story?
huh?
He said, "Do you know where the 19 hijackers story came from?"
Uh, do I know where it came from?
I think he's
I mean,
asking
I'm
you
just going by. I don't. I'm not sure where the story came from.
that there was 19
I'm,
hijackers.
these 19 hijackers were taking pilot lessons, and one of the biggest thing uh, um, that I'm surprised didn't catch anybody's eye was they want to know how to fly the planes, but didn't want to know how to land them.
I mean, I guess the idea came from the investigation after we started finding out what was going on. I mean, and I don't know where you're going with that, Donnie.
And again, Donnie, Chris, I'm not trying to criticize you guys, but you got to show me more than just what you've shown me so far. I mean, so far I've seen
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Why do you not think that those fucking lunatic religious people flew those planes in the buildings and that's what brought the buildings down? Why is that? Why don't you think that that's possible?
Well, let me point something else out too. They had already tried to take down the Trade Center once. Was that a conspiracy that happened in 1993?
Yeah. I mean, I just would like to know why it's impossible for the official story to be true. Why?
She was actually. I don't think. Well, I don't think it was a representative's wife. I think it was a cabinet member's wife. What proof do you have that the FBI helped the terrorists in '93? The New York Times.
No, he actually when it comes to the 93 bombing, um, there is some credible evidence to support that. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this attack. Why do you think it's impossible for the official story to be true? I don't have to Google that, Donnie. I know what you're talking about.
I really don't. I've never heard that the FBI helped the 19. They help them try to take down the Trade Center in '93. I mean, what would their reasoning be to do that?
Donnie, why do you think the official story cannot be true?
And give me something besides Tower 7.
Right. I mean, why do you think those planes could not have made those buildings fall the way they fell? I mean,
Now, like I said, I believe our government knew about it to get us involved in Iraq. And I'll tell you another conspiracy I buy into. I do. I believe the plane in Shanksville was shot down because it was headed for the White House
Because of the
because of the
amount
amount of
of
structure.
structural steel. Okay. Um, I'm I know Donnie, I know you're very well informed on this. I'm sure you know the architecture of those two towers, and you know that most of the steel beams of the architecture are on the outside of the building, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I do. Well, I mean, not totally, but
And even okay, because the amount of structural steel, okay. That because of the amount of structural steel, you think those planes couldn't make those buildings fall. I don't under why. Again, again.
so where were these explosives planted?
I,
Was they
I
planted in the top
still,
of the building, the bottom of the
he
building?
still hasn't touched on the reason why he thinks the planes could not take down the building the way the official story says. He says because there was too much structural steel. Okay, okay, yeah, that's exactly how it is. I'm not a demo specialist either, but when a plane slams into that building with all that jet fuel on it, and that stuff starts to leak out.
And not to mention the damage that it caused when it struck the building itself, how far it went into it.
Sure, sure, sure. Once that jet fuel started leaking all throughout the building and fire and heating up and everything, all it takes is just to weaken that steel a little bit. No, the jet fuel did not burn off when it hit the building. That's impossible. It did not.
No, there's no way for that to
There's
take
no way for
place.
that to be true. That's completely impossible and illogical. No.
All right, so you say you're not a demolition expert, but yet you can say that demolitions took the plane down or took the buildings
The
down.
steel would definitely weaken. Yes, it would. Yeah, from heat.
And when it weakens, it's going to bend,
Not,
and those
and
towers
it
are going to
also
start
has the
to fall.
weight of the top fucking shit on it too.
Correct.
It's illogical because you think the fuel burned up as soon as the impact? No way. That shit leaked throughout.
Jet fuel, jet fuel doesn't burn like that.
No. Okay, you've been in construction your entire life. What does that have to do with knowing that jet fuel would burn away on impact? I mean, come on, man. That jet fuel would leak through the entire building, which it did, going down the elevator shafts and everything.
Causing more fires,
Yeah,
more structural damage in the building,
sure.
weakening more and more metal
Yep.
or more and more steel rods.
Exactly.
I mean, and like I said, I mean,
And it is very hard, but I mean,
I agree with you, Bob. The aircraft impact down the towers.
Definitely.
I mean, where was all these explosives placed at? And on top of that, who set them off? I mean, you had to time it. And why didn't you take it down immediately? Why did you let any survivors get off?
I'm
And say, don't get me wrong, Donnie. I'm not criticizing you, but your every question that we have, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Dude, I just would like to know why you think that those planes hitting those towers couldn't have taken the towers down. It's a very simple question. I believe it's a very simple question.
I lost.
I'm asking my one question, and Chris is probably wanting to know probably the same answer to this question as well. Why do you think that that plane hitting that building, both buildings, could not have taken them down? Why? Donnie, if you would like, I can stop this video and I could start a video with you because you can only go two at a time, and me and you can go back and forth for a second if you want. You want to do that? Donnie, you want to do that? Did you hear what I just offered you, Donnie?
I think we've kind of beat this horse to death.
I don't because I need. Okay, so I'll stay on this video and you let me know when you're ready, okay?
Well, Bob, I believe that we actually let Pearl Harbor happen too, because that was the only way to get us into World War II.
I have to debate this with Donnie because out of all the people that I see posting stuff about the 9/11 conspiracy, it seems like he's the one that is the most not only knowledgeable but the most he believes it. He's convinced of it. So I want to know. Um, Obviously, he said he can't stay up that much longer. So when I do that with him, it'll probably be about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you want to make a video with Bob during that, or if you want to just comment on mine and his video, that's fine.
Um, yeah, I'd like to make a video with Bob.
That's cool.
Um, Gotta find out how to find him on here though.
Well, all he has to do is when you go live, all he has to do is request.
Yeah, maybe that's why it wouldn't let him come on earlier, is because you can only get two people
Yeah,
on there at
that's
one time.
exactly why.
So what do you want to talk about, Bob? Are you a Kennedy assassination guy?
Donnie, do you want me to start the video?
Well, he said he had to get his phone charger.
Okay, I'm hanging up.